Okay, I think that you saw me previously during the morning about the experimentation that we did for virtual healthcare providing for the primary care part especially. Now I'm going to provide a little bit more context of what's the philosophical framework that we use at WebRTC Ventures. And I'm going to repeat this. We basically build telecom applications, web applications, that's it. We use the telecom ecosystems of a communication platform as a services that we have already in this ecosystem to put together all the pieces and building a medical and education communication applications. And we've seen some patterns and that we want to address what are the common things that we see and what are the trends that we are following. Before I can go ahead with that, I just want to express some words of appreciation to Martin Giris. He's a great writer. I recommend his articles about contextual communications. That's mainly what I'm going to mention during this conversation. Much of the word you're going to see belongs to him actually. So he's a great guy and a great visionary about how things are moving forward in this world. All right, so contextual communication, that's a trend that we are seeing already in telecoms, web and mobile applications, in devices, and Internet of Things, enterprise productivity. This is a trend that we are seeing now, and we see that is going to be relevant for the next 5 years at least. And actually, it's going to be more relevant as we move forward. We're going to see a lot of applications, of all the applications being based on the paradigm of contextual communications. Maybe an example about how this relates to communications is this. At the beginning, when Skype came about, what was revolutionary or the value that Skype was providing or similar applications was the innovation of using a new data transport to connect to people, to have an audio conversation, then a video conversation as well. Now we don't need to have a phone, a telephone to make the conversation. Now we can use the computer and using the internet as the platform behind it that sustained the internet to have a conversation. That was the innovation, that was the value. When I'm talking about contextual communications, is getting and understanding the purpose and intent of that call in order to understand what the user wants to get done. So it's gathering the contextual data around that phone call to infer what is the intent and purpose of the user, what's the job to get done. So that's basically contextual communications. And we're going to see how we are seeing different types of contextual information that we can gather. The one that for sure we knew before communications is the virtual context. What is the thing that you are doing with your device, with your computer, with your mobile phone? Which page you're on? What are the feels that you are feeling in the form currently? What is the music that you're listening to? If you're in a workflow inside an application or a game, in which phase you are in. So knowing this information, this is what we are calling basically software originated context. We can use that context to now know a little bit more about the user the next time it uses the application. The other kind of context that we are also getting is the insight we can get from the previous visits that this person is having, or people with similar behaviors or interests are having at this moment in the application. I am referring to the information from past behavior, preferences, the information we can get also for cookies, CRM systems, anything that relates to your past virtual and physical context that we are getting, that we have access to. The next, and that's the trend that is happening right now, is the big data or the machine learning context that we can get also. We can infer also the context by using, for example, sentiment analysis. What is your mood? How happy you are when you are when you are interacting with the software, in particular with the call that you're making right now. Or in fact, what other data I can infer using third-party services that I can access via mashups and APIs. This physical context that is next. So he saw already the virtual context, we saw the big data and analytics context. Now, the one that pertains to us in this conversation basically is the physical context, the information that we can get from sensors, being the camera and the microphone, the primary sensors that now we can access to with the new APIs that we have in the web. But also we are referring to location, movement, temperature, power battery, heart rate, biometric sensors. This information is giving us enough data so we can come up with, for example, the local acoustics. Are you in the street? Are you in the room? What the application can do about it. Knowing all that information, you know how to react to that. What is the position of the people around you, your identity. Are you walking, driving? Are you showing signs of stress? This information, again, is available to us because we have more devices in our bodies. The wearables trending is becoming more and more important. All right, so let's get more specific. The CPaaS, the communication platform as a service, how this impacts, how the contextual information that we have from the user is impacting our ecosystem. Well, the thing is that these services that we can find in the cloud are allowing us to be contextually aware of what is going on with the call, with the communication we are having. And in that way, we can blend the communication event with all other events that are going on inside the application that we are gathering, that we are analyzing. And this information, again, is the one that we can get from the sensors and the application state. So just to emphasize that, the WebRTC, which is the tool that we are more familiar with in WebRTC ventures, is we are seeing innovators, entrepreneurs that are approaching to us, and they really want to do experimentation with many things regarding the call. We have now a environment of unbounded experimentations. We're seeing new patterns of behavior that weren't possible before the WebRTC revolution. We are seeing this more and more. For example, we can provide solutions to call centers that can combine the information of where is the user that is making the call, what is the kind of device that it is using, what is the mood of that user that is making the call as well. That provides an entire context that can help a lot the process as well. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the tools, the products that we are building in WebRTC. This particular, it's called usability. This tool is fascinating for me. It's a tool for UX researchers. This tool allows UX, user experience researchers to capture users from a production site or invite people that can be caught in some other ways to be part of a UX testing or usability session. So when the people that is invited comes or accepts the invitation, they are put into a waiting room, because maybe I can have a list of people that are interested or agreed to participate in this UX usability or these usability sessions. So what happens is that when the session starts, the user or the final user starts sharing the screen, and the researcher can start seeing what the user is doing with the website. But at the same time, while the session is being recorded, the researcher can make notes at different points in time related to what the user is doing. Let's say, maybe, the user is extremely happy, is jumping because he's really happy, or it is swearing because something really bad happened. And when the session ends, now the researcher has the possibility to review that session, compare with the other sessions, compare the notes with other sessions as well. Again, this is a very good explanation or a very good example of how we're using the context that we can get from the user in that specific moment. And we keep that information in there. We record it. This is another medical application that we built. It is called Wellbeing. The founders of Wellbeing are located in Australia. The problem that you're solving is connecting therapy, mental doctors with people in the Australia outback. This application has all what they need to keep track of the sessions patients are having with the doctors, how many minutes have passed since the beginning of the session, how to charge for the minute or by the minute, how to do a follow-up on the session, and so on. So the context is kept always. Plus, that relates to what I talked during the morning about the triaging system that we are going to build next year as well. What we're seeing here then is that there is a redefinition of the voice and messaging user experience. We are determining how important a call is. That the next feature that we are going to build into this medical system is for example, if you establish that a doctor is going to be your emergency doctor and you make a call, but the doctor maybe is not right now available because maybe he's making a call. So what the system should do is being aware of that context. And because the doctor didn't answer, the next step should be sending him a message telling him about the fact that a patient is making or wants to connect with him. Or if the next thing that we're going to do also is making the system aware of where the doctor is paying attention to, if the doctor is using a computer right now or is using the mobile device, so the system can decide where it can send the call through. We are seeing more opportunities of innovation using more sensors, more information. We are seeing possibilities also about using sentiment analysis, big data, machine learning that can help as a call center in ways that are new and very innovative. Finally, what are the opportunities that we're seeing for the future? We see enterprises that are going beyond the traditional telephony applications, and these companies that we have built already some products for them, they are seeing boosts in revenue because of that. And the explanation of why the companies are asking us to do this is that in reality, the cost of building these things are really low. The ecosystems of communication platforms that we have now that we can use as a services are just allowing that. And this is also allowing our customers to differentiate their offerings against their competitors. So this trend is going to continue, but the reason and the thesis that we are saying is the reason that this is going to continue to happen is because the contextual communication process are enabling more business opportunities and more innovation that it's attracting entrepreneurs to make this happen. I think that's about it. All right, so if you have any questions.
Please join me in thanking David.